Okay. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to start it up here. Next, I have John DiLeonardo. Good afternoon. Just give your name and address for the record. Thank you.
Hi, John DiLeonardo, 97 Lexington Avenue, Malvern, New York. Hello, Mr. Clavin and Honorable Board. My name is John DiLeonardo. I am a constituent from Malvern, an anthrozoologist, and a licensed wildlife rehabilitator. I am also president of Long Island Orchestrating for Nature, the leading animal advocacy organization on Long Island. On Mother's Day, a witness discovered a father goose crying for help as his mate lay paralyzed outside the Long Island Yacht Club. Days earlier, this witness reported seeing Alexander Barry, the owner of Flyby Geese Control, who was just awarded a nearly $400,000 contract to manage geese at Hempstead Town Parks and Properties, beating the goose over the head with a kayak paddle and attempting to ground her babies. The mother goose has since died, and Mrs. Barry and Flyby Geese Control are now being investigated by the DEC and Suffolk County SPCA for alleged animal cruelty. A review of Flyby's website shows the company attempted to mislead the public by using, without authorization, the logos of People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, the Humane Society of the United States, and the SPCAs of Nassau, Bahamas, and Suffolk, Virginia, falsely implying that these nonprofits, and presumably the Nassau County and Suffolk County SPCAs, endorsed her business as humane. Most of these have since been scrubbed from her website. Furthermore, a review of the member directories of various other listed organizations on May 14th, shortly after the alleged attack, revealed no membership. However, records and information obtained from these associations reveal that Ms. Barry joined several of them after the attack on the geese, perhaps in an effort to cover up the false statements on her website. Flyby's website also reveals the brokerage of cruel geese roundups, where geese and their babies are massacred when they're most vulnerable and unable to fly, a cruel service shunned by every reputable geese management company on Long Island, as well as many municipalities. Ms. Barry is also currently being sued by her former employer for allegedly stealing their clients and was apparently arrested in March of this year for driving without a license and operating a vehicle without insurance. I'm very pleased to hear that the town has suspended her contract and is looking into an investigation, investigating this alleged animal cruelty. I would like you to take the next step and assure me and your constituents that geese will never be rounded up or otherwise harmed on town properties, and ensure that the town does not employ any business or individual who would engage in acts of animal cruelty. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you very much for coming today. Appreciate your input as always. Next, I'm going to call Elliot Spicer.
Well, would you like to answer that question?
Like I said to you, I think the town attorney said when it was brought to our attention, we immediately launched an investigation. I know the alleged incident happened in Suffolk. Joe, do you want to touch anything else on that?
No, simply to say that anytime we've learned of any type of animal cruelty, we would have taken action. We would never have intentionally employed someone or given a contract to an outfit that committed any such acts. Right now, it's still under investigation, but you can be certain when the investigation is concluded, both in terms of the incident that you're discussing, which is an allegation, bear in mind, as well as the issues about misrepresentations on the website and or any application that was filed with the town. Appropriate action will definitely be taken.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Thank you again.
Yeah, but the second part
Elliot,
of the question,
the
second part of the question I had there was related to roundups in the town.
Thank you. We have 3 minutes. We're going to move on to the next speaker, Elliot Spicer.
Is the town saying that they're not going to...
No, nobody said that at all. Elliot Spicer, please.
So is the town saying that they're...
Again, the next speaker, we have a 3 minute time. Elliot Spicer, please. Thank you.
All right, I'm going to take that as an admission that you guys are going to be rounding up geese in the town.
No, again, you shouldn't take anything as admission. Thank you so much.
Also...
no, please.
I wouldn't have to be here right now.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Okay, thank you. Mr. Spicer?
Hello, my name is Elliot Spicer. I'm a resident of West Hempstead. I'm a licensed wildlife rehabilitator, and I'm also a volunteer and animal rehabber at Long Island Orchestrating for Nature. There was a woman recently hired by Flyby Geese Control that allegedly beat a goose with a paddle and also tried to allegedly drown her goslings. It's important to mention that the reviews by people that have used Flyby Geese Control say that they've rounded up geese, killed their goslings, and have gassed them in their most vulnerable state. It is inhumane to kill local wildlife, including geese, at ponds and waterways, such as you wouldn't kill a domestic cat or dog that are non-native here, so you wouldn't kill other wildlife such as geese. It's cruel to kill any animal, and especially geese are flock animals, so when you kill their mate, they can mourn for weeks, months, or even years and be depressed, not eat, and even die. So I think it's important for our elected officials to protect geese and any other wildlife, just as you would protect any other resident of West Hempstead or Hempstead in general. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Spicer, for coming today. Next, I have Heidi Cohen. Okay, thank you. Next, I have Rachel Levy. Good afternoon. If you just give your name and address for the record.
Good afternoon. Rachel Edgemont, Levy Edgemont, 245-06, 91st Avenue, Belrose Village, New York. All right, well, in light of why we're here today and the poor mother that was heinously killed for absolutely no reason, I would like to ask, and I would like to urge the town to ensure that the geese in and around the town are not harmed, and ensure that the town does not employ any business or individuals who would engage in such a despicable act of animal cruelty. I'm glad to hear that the town suspended the contract with Flyby Goose in light of this heinous crime, and I hope that the town ensures that the geese are never, ever rounded up and killed in the town of Hampstead again. Do I have in any way your, can you please say that this will never happen again?
I'm not aware of any rounding up, to the best of my knowledge.
Well, if you look on Flyby Geese...
No, but I'm saying to you, but I'm not aware of that taking place in the town of Hempstead at all. So are you aware that did happen in the town of Hempstead?
It has in the past.
Yep. Do you know when?
John can elaborate.
No, I'm saying, I mean, I'm not aware of it, so that's why I'm like, no, John, I'll let you speak after. So, listen, like I said, when the incident was reported to us, Mr. Nocella, we asked him to jump into action.
Well,
we take it seriously, and we appreciate it. But like I said, I'm not aware of any sort of rounding up or anything like that taking place in the town. So
we ensure that it never happens again. That's all I'm asking. Let's please be vigilant and not let this happen again. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Howard Canner. He's not here? Okay. Thank you. Next, I have Taylor Arruccio. Taylor Arruccio? Okay. Okay. Next, I have Mina DeJaffari. Okay. Carol Marcus? I apologize. Carol Marcus? Okay. Marcia Tituteri? You got it. I'll tell you, on the computer screen, the I didn't come up, so.
Marcia D. Thierry, Lee Avenue, Merrick, New York. I'm going to take my mask off. First, I'd just like to ask Mr. Pastore if the TNR program, before I tell all my trappers, I'd like to know if it is full-time as of now, because we were taking 20 cats, I think 20 cats a day, 6 days a week. Can you tell me whether it's back to full-time and you're doing the rehab afterwards? Recovery.
Mr. Supervisor Wick, we're accepting everybody as they call and taking them. And yes, we are able to take more animals, more cats as they come.
Thank you so much, Commissioner.
So I can tell the TNR people they can start bringing them.
Yeah, he just said you give him a call. There you go. Thank you.
My second agenda is, once again, I would like to give you this documentation. Can I give this to someone?
Yeah, absolutely. We'll take it in front. Absolutely.
Thank you. Once again, I am here hoping that you have some information on a date that we can reenact tree preservation in our town. I am presenting documentation taken from multiple resources, hoping that you will see the urgency. A letter from Legislator McDonough asking that our town follow the same laws as so many other townships in protecting our resources. An article about the importance of supporting the Mother Nature Bond Act with scientific evidence about the importance of trees for the absorption of so many toxins that we dump in our groundwater, including herbicides, gasoline overflow, degreasers, and so many chemicals which only trees can absorb. In addition, evidence on the healing properties that trees offer, both physical and mental. Natural sunscreen, less noise, oxygen, and shade from the blazing sun. I also have an article giving the town of Hempstead the Shore Award from the Audubon Society. All birds matter, not just shorebirds, and without trees, we lose almost all of our inland birds. I am witnessing tree removal every day. I will mention one home in particular in my neighborhood, bought by Streamline Builders, who are notorious for buying properties, removing every tree, and building as big a home as the town permits, as with enclosed photos. This property's yard was now exposed to a firehouse on Camp Avenue due to all the trees being removed. They built a 12-foot privacy fence on the road instead of leaving the living fence to block the firehouse. I don't know if that's legal. They also bought the property next door, and it looks like they're going to do the same thing, removing all of the trees. That can be stopped if you intervene. I would also like to present some of the countless number of trees I have witnessed being removed. I spoke with some of the homeowners asking their reason, and unfortunately it's because landscapers and tree removal companies like Cheap Charlie's misinform people about the health of the trees. And that's why I'm asking you to please hire arborists and advise people to take the proper steps and keep trees healthy and educate.
Thank you, as always, for your passion on this. And I will tell you, I will personally reach out to Assemblyman McDonough to talk to him about his letter and see about also if there's some sort of state legislation, since the state is so quick that maybe we can also ask our friends in the state to get involved. And just so you know, and I know you do email, and I do take a look at it, so I appreciate it. We have reached out to all the other jurisdictions. We have reached out not only to the jurisdictions in the town of Hempstead, but the villages, as well as our counterparts in Suffolk County, to see about what their policies are, to try and come up with a balanced approach that, you know, has to recognize an individual does have rights on their property, but also the preservation and the beauty of our neighborhood. So I do appreciate it. And like I said, and I think we said when we come forward with the policy, I will include you and let you know what it will be. All right?
So nothing as of yet.
No, like I said, we did reach out. I really wanted to get the feel for what Suffolk County was doing from all the way out in the Hamptons all the way to Rich Schaefer, supervisor of Babylon and North. So, like I said, we want to come up with something. We want to just see what's working and what's not in these other jurisdictions. But we'll absolutely keep in on the loop. And thank you.
It's unfortunate. It's been over 5 years that I've been trying, and I'm sure the board members have.
I understand, and like I said, I'm trying to come up with some kind of plan, but I appreciate it, and like I said, you're an advocate, and I appreciate that, and we'll keep you in the loop on what we come up with.
Is there a go-to person that I can go to now?
You can keep going to the same person, but we have a couple other people that want to speak, and I want to get to them, but I'll have them follow up with an email with you. Jenny Elf? Okay. Kelly Short? Thank you. Good afternoon. If you just give your name and address for the record.
Hello, good afternoon. Kelly Shewart, Merrick, New York. So I am of course, I'm here for the TNR. I'm here about that. To state that it is back open and accommodating, I feel is a misinformation. 3 days a week is not open and available. I really find it inconvenient that whenever you call the shelter, it's leave a voicemail. There's no actual person. So cats don't always trap when your appointment is. That's why it's, if the program is being accommodating and there's opening, it's just because you can't always get the cat when the appointment is scheduled. Honestly, I think it comes down to there's not a lot of trust right now at the shelter. I was not involved in the Oceanside hoarding house situation with the cats. I was mainly a transport and hold the cats while they went to the shelter to get fixed. I did not arrange any of this. 2 other people did, but there was a lot of miscommunication that when I showed up with 5 cats, it was rude, and I was told, sorry, the vet isn't here, take them back. So I took them home, brought them back the next day, and there was a lot of miscommunication on the shelter saying they were not going to take any of these cats that were adoptable. I ended up taking them to North Shore. So if these cats were adoptable, I don't understand why the shelter, they're in the town of Hempstead. Why isn't the shelter taking these cats? Why isn't the shelter? I was told by Mr. Pastore that this situation did not deem town of Hempstead involvement because the ASPCA did not deem it an emergency. Well, it comes down to, this is your town. These people need help. If we don't do something now with 50 cats and get these last 5 or 6 cats, we're going to be back here in a year with 50 more new cats. So I think it's in everyone's best interest, rescues, town, to do something now. So I don't consider this shelter full operational. I feel there's a lot of mistrust that I have a mom with kittens in my basement that are not rescue backed yet. We're trapped in the town of Hempstead, and the person who I'm holding them for doesn't want them to go to the town of Hempstead because, quite honestly, we don't really know if they're going to get the care they need, considering the town just gave 4 or 5 kittens to a Long Beach rescue that were sick. So if you can't care for the animals that $5.5 million budget is supposed to, there has to be some building of trust to get the shelter back where people want to bring their animals there, that the shelter is going to be the place they go for help.
Okay, thank you very much. I don't have any other slips that anyone wishes to be heard. I do see, I do see Stuart Kroll did raise his hand. Mr. Kroll, if you come on back to the end, I appreciate you yelling, but Mr. Kroll, if you'd like to come up to the back of the mic, that would be great. And any other residents that didn't check in and would like to speak, we'll get to you. Of course, you have to raise your hand, and I appreciate it. So please, name and address.
Stu Kroll, Great Neck.
Good to see you, Mr. Kroll.
Thank you. We are now approaching the end of May. Much has changed in the world. In most circumstances, masks are no longer required indoors. It comes as no surprise that the town shelter has not increased the number of cats that are being fixed. As of Monday afternoon, when I called there, and you can correct me if I'm now wrong, 15 cats are being fixed weekly at the Hempstead shelter. The ASPCA, to name one, is now operating at full capacity, as are virtually all other rescue and adoption centers. All About Cats had 2 clinics this past week, fixing over 100 cats between Thursday and Sunday night. Okay. This type of effort helps to alleviate the incredible suffering of cats on the street due to acute multiplying of these cats. Your shelter can take a considerable amount of blame for allowing this horrendous situation to occur. It is a pathetic joke that you refer to protecting your employees. TNR is virtually a contactless proposition. Are your actions based on the recommendation of the town doctor? If so, perhaps somebody should tell them about the CDC current recommendations. 15,000 people just attended a Knick game. 70,000 people attended a fight a week ago in Texas. What did the town doctor think of you having a fundraiser for 200 people when the state limit was 50? On a somewhat different note, apparently the town has entered into a contract with a geese control specialist, quote unquote. She apparently was hired by another facility out east, I guess a yacht club out east. She was hired to control these animals, not to kill and maim them. There's a credible witness who asserts that she has seen this happen. She had a questionable, before this incident even occurred, she had a questionable, resume. So what I'd like to know are there any plans, it makes me wonder, to have these cats, to have these goslings killed in the town of Hempstead, to have a roundup? So if somebody would answer that, I would certainly appreciate it. Are there any current plans to have this occur in the town of Hempstead, to have a roundup of geese?
No.
All right. Well,
Why would you think that?
I just want to make sure.
Well,
I just want to get that
why
on the
would you even
record.
think that? No.
That's what that occurred. I'm very glad to hear that. Geese are a part of our natural landscape and must be treated with respect and with their safety in mind. We have seen here that when connections are more important than competence, disaster follows shortly thereafter. I refer to the hiring of Ms. Fonte, who lied about the majority of her qualifications, as opposed to the other candidate for the position, who was fully qualified and asked for less money. The inevitable result of this, corrupt hiring was she allowed a dog to be adopted to the public that had known aggressive tendencies. The ensuing result was the owner of this dog was maimed by this innocent animal. She has since filed a large lawsuit against the town. Apparently, contracts here must be given out to a racetrack buddy. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kroll. Safe ride back home. The next, we have Ms. Downey. How you doing? Can you have your name and address for the record, please? Thank you.
Or my name is Carol Downey, 42 Waters Edge Court, Babylon. I'm here to speak about the horror story that I witnessed in my backyard against goslings and 2 adult geese. The vicious attack occurred on May 6, 2021 at approximately 2:20 in the afternoon. I was in my backyard and noticed a woman swinging her paddle from her kayak, viciously attacking 2 adult geese, smacking them in the head with severe force and kept approaching them, chasing them until I finally started screaming at her to stop it. As I was yelling to her, she took her paddle and turned it upside down and tried to drown the goslings. I have lived there for 25 years. My father-in-law has owned the property since 1977. I've never seen anything so disgusting in my entire life. She very unprofessionally started yelling at me, telling me that she was going to sue me for harassment and that I had no proof of her beating them, because as soon as I took out my cell phone, she stopped beating them and she stopped trying to drown the goslings. She knew exactly what to say to keep herself legally secure, that she wouldn't be in trouble. She told me she was calling the state police, which was her husband, and her husband is not a state police officer. She also was yelling at me that she was defending herself against the adult geese. I was there the entire time, and in no way ever was she attacked aggressively by the geese. She deliberately took her kayak and put herself between the adults and the babies to separate them so the adults would want to just swim over to the babies again. And she was saying that they were getting aggressive, so she needed to protect herself. Absolutely false. She was wrong. I was standing there, and unfortunately, I do not have video of that, but I do have video of her screaming at me and being very unprofessional and disgusting. I do know that you are allowed to scare and chase geese off property, but this was not the case. This was the case of pure animal cruelty.
Where did this happen?
When?
No, where?
In my backyard.
No, where's your backyard?
In Babylon Village.
So, and you reported it to the authorities out in Suffolk County?
Correct.
Suffolk, and they do an investigation, right?
Correct.
And you've heard that when we found out about it right away, we had the town attorney suspend the contract until the investigation's concluded.
And I'm very happy.
As I said to you, we appreciate you reporting it, and I think, I think we acted appropriately, and when the investigation's concluded, we have to wait for the investigation on anything else. I can understand it, and we appreciate bringing it to our attention, and I think, we responded accordingly when it was brought to, and we appreciate it. And we're monitoring the situation to find out what the investigation concludes. Was she working for anybody out in Suffolk County at that time?
She kept repeating to me that she was working for the state, and I have
No, that's fine. It's just, have you reached out to any jurisdiction out in Suffolk to see if any of them have any sort of connection for the time being, and if they've done what we've done here in the town of Hempstead?
Yes, well, it's in process. It's under investigation.
No, did she have any contracts with any jurisdictions out there?
Not as far as I know.
Okay, like I said, we've suspended it. We're waiting for the investigation, and like I said, when the results and the fruits of the investigation are done, the town attorney and the town will act accordingly. But like I said, we have to let the investigation conclude. Am I fair enough to say that, Joe?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
I'm just saying that I
no, I get it, and I get it, but I'm saying you're part of the investigation, just so you know. So that's why I'm saying we got to let it play out, okay?
Absolutely.
But thank you very much for bringing it to our attention. I know that somebody else raised their hand, and did you sign in? Maria, did you sign in? Okay, great. Awesome. If you give your name and address for the record.
Maria Engel, Oceanside. I had a meeting with Mr. Pastore about 3 weeks ago. There was an attorney as well, and we exchanged, I asked him a number of questions, 19 questions to be exact, that he documented. And he had no answer to a single one of those questions. And he delegated his right hand, Christine Giuliani, to answer those questions. And he had not a single answer to those questions. Quite odd, huh? So I would like a follow-up for answers, because I got no answers from that meeting. And furthermore, I have another issue here, and I brought it to their attention, but I would like you to investigate. I see you are into investigating certain things. So I think that I would like you to investigate this other thing. And that is that on 2/3/2020, 2 cats were seized from 545 Carpenter Avenue, close to where I live. And one of them was my cat. And both cats apparently are documented at the animal shelter, which oddly denies, but the documents, FOIL documents, show that both cats were at the animal shelter, the town of Hempstead Wantar adoption center, no less, not any section, but adoption center, both my cat and this other cat. And both have the same animal view report, and the format is similar, but with one exception. When it comes to intake and outcome, one cat, not mine, has a description of what happened on the intake and outcome. My cat, instead, has a lost cat report, mind you, in the body of an animal view report. And the reason this is possible is that these documents are editable. They are spreadsheets, most likely, like many industries use. And they used this shelter certainly uses this manipulable feature of editing. And so as a result, the lost cat report of my cat was planted, copied and pasted in the body of an animal view report, and doesn't belong there. If there's an animal view report which is prefaced with, okay, that's it. I would like you to arrange another meeting, please.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it as always. Claudia Canham?
Hi, everybody. If you haven't heard me speak already at these meetings, I've talked about the horrors of the conditions that the feral cats are living in this town. I took the initiative and fixed 91 cats as a full-time law student on Hofstra's campus. And I asked for help. I was told I would get help in April. April came, no help was given. The 91 cats were fixed at the cost of a 501c3 not-for-profit that is located in Suffolk County. If that wasn't enough alone to prove that, like, I know what I'm doing, I've had one litter of kittens born this entire kitten season on Hofstra's campus. Think about that. When I was told that TNR was not possible or not safe right now, and I decided to try it a different way, I was able to successfully reduce the number of kittens born in this town, and I didn't even get a thank you for it. We are living in one of the worst possible kitten seasons, and partially because of the town of Hempstead shutting down their TNR program. These animals deserve compassion. These are animals that are living on the streets because of humans. They don't belong there. They don't deserve to live there. And you have the resources to step up and fix this mistake. It is not too late. It is not too late to show compassion. It is not too late to save lives. And it is not too late to fix this. You have the choice. You have the option. You have the resources. You have the space. You have the money. You have the staff. So why are rescues all around Long Island having to turn down kittens and cats? The rescue that I'm with is completely full. I personally have 9 fosters right now. My morning I spent cleaning gunk out of 2-week-old kittens' eyes. That is what my life has become. I am a rescuer. I have compassion for these animals, and they deserve it from every person, even the Hofstra cats, because if you are a Hofstra alumni, if you went to Hofstra University, whether it's the law school or the undergrad program, and you knew about the cats and chose not to do something, all of the lives that were lost are on you. Every animal that died this year, every cat I had to put down that was sick or inbred or injured could have been avoided with TNR. That is not okay, that is not fair, and that is not right. Why am I, as a 22-year-old law student, crying my eyes out, making the hardest decisions of my life, when you have the resources, the capability, and the ability to do all of this? The TNR program needs to be back up and running. You need to start accepting cats, and you need to start bringing cats back into the shelter. Oceanside, as Kelly had mentioned earlier, I was told it would be a surrender fee of $190 for people who can't even afford to fix their animal or feed them. Why is that okay? Why is that happening when they are paying taxes? Do better.
Thank you so much. And just so you know, when I actually did reach out to President Rubinowitz back in February when you said that the college would work with us, and they told us they didn't want us to do the program then. So I did make the efforts to reach out to the president, but after we were told that the school was going to already work with us, so there's nothing I do about that. Next, I'm going to bring up Mrs. Heffron. Oh, I can only call the president of a university and ask him once. Thank you.
Excuses, excuses, excuses. It's literally all I hear. Let me just start off, Mr. Nocella, while I appreciate the fact that you suspended this contract for Fly-by Geese, the truth is that where is the vetting process? Who's vetting these people? Okay? If anyone did a simple Google search, they would have seen fabricated endorsements by PETA as well as the Humane Society on this company's website. Who did that vetting? Was there even an evaluation committee for this RFP? It's not rocket science, just like, and this is not the first time that the town has passed a contract through falsified credentials. The town behaviorist, one of the most important positions at the shelter, we proved 4 out of 5 credentials were either highly embellished or completely fabricated. That was also confirmed by one of your town investigators, and nobody has done anything with it. What's the consequence? I don't know. Other dogs have gotten bitten, multiple bite cases, multiple injuries. There's a personal injury lawsuit with a taxpayer who sustained 2 broken arms because she adopted a dog that was an abuse case, and they didn't divulge that information. The town of Hempstead has a long-standing pattern of behavior which speaks to animal cruelty as well as neglect. Mr. Pastore, I see you sitting here today. I'd love to know, why are you shipping out friendly adoptable cats to a place of suffering where they will die at feral cat sanctuaries? Why did you green light Road to Home, Utica, New York, where dogs were sent to suffer and live in zip-tied crates with absolutely no rehabilitation, and you spent thousands of dollars doing that? You know what? I'm sick of this. I flew in from Florida, not because of you, not because of this board, because I am sick of this board. I see how you treat your constituents and people who care about good things. They care about trees. They care about their environment, their animals. They care about other people. You know what? I'm going to ask you guys to stand. You're the town of Hempstead. You have more power than every single person on this board. Stand with me right now. Kelly from Merrick, John from Malvern, Diane from East Meadow, Stuart from Great Neck. It doesn't matter where you're from. Maria from Oceanside, Elliot from I forgot. Everyone who's here, Claudia from Hofstra, stand and send a resounding message to this board right now. You have the power to make the change. This is not okay. 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 And before you wish me in your passive-aggressive way, Supervisor Clavin, to have a nice, safe trip back to Florida, you should know I may be the first person who moved to Florida and who's going to come back just to help your opponent vacate your seat.
Okay, I don't have any of the slips. Does anybody else wish to be heard? Okay, if not, everybody have a great day. Thank you very much, and a safe and enjoyable Memorial Day weekend.